People's reactions on Argus' most recent buff are mixed. Some people loved it and are finding great success with the new mechanics, while a lot of people not so much. So today, let's talk about why it's bad and what can be done to make it better. As some of you know, the developers watch videos like this as well, so if you agree with us and want Argus to be more powerful, leave a like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. Also, in case you have not seen our Argus buff tests and experiments, we suggest watching the following videos. The links are on the description. And for those players who already know the details behind the buff but are clueless what items and emblems to give him, check this video out instead. The link is also on the description. In our opinion, the most impacting reason why Argus is still bad in general is his lack of damage. Currently, at 100 physical attack points, Argus is one of the heroes with the lowest base damage in the game. Most heroes have far greater base damage than Argus, with a difference of around 10 to 40 physical attack points. The only heroes with less base physical damage than Argus are Yi Sun-Shin, who has 95, Claude with 97, Kimmy with 90, Masha with 91, Wan with 95, Papalankupa with 95, and Aulus with 90. This means most XP lane heroes have an advantage over Argus during the early game, and not just an advantage, but a massive advantage. And it's not just a lot of the XP lane heroes, even supports, mages, and tanks have much higher base damage than him. Having a low base damage of 100 may not be an issue all the time, but we can only say that if the hero has the skills to make up for the low base physical damage. Sadly for Argus, he does not have any skills that can make up for his underwhelming early game damage. While we agree that his second skill is better now in general, but it is only powerful from the mid to late game. During the early game, however, it is very underwhelming. As if things weren't already bad for Argus, the developers also decided to remove his ultimate's permanent bonus physical attack. Because of what they did, he is now not just very bad from levels 1 to 3, he is now also bad from levels 4 to 9. Across all ranks, Argus is performing decently with a win rate of around 54%. However, as we increase the rank, his win rate drops dramatically and is only around 50% on Mythical Glory and higher. Why is that? On lower ranks, most side laners just blindly clear minion waves, which allows Argus to gain experience and gold easily without taking so much risks. A lot of players on lower ranks have mediocre lane management knowledge and don't know techniques such as lane freezing and lane zoning. On higher ranks, however, these are techniques that a lot of players utilize. Lane freezing is the act of manipulating the minion waves by allowing the opposing lane minions to build up, thus keeping the cluster of minions closer to your turret and further away from the opposing side laner. It's a simple technique where you simply refrain from attacking the enemy minions, and only do so to take last hits to get bonus gold. Lane zoning, on the other hand, is the act of utilizing your hero's attack range in order to harass or prevent the opposing side laner from getting close to your minions. With these two lane management techniques in effect, the opposing side laner will have a difficult time earning gold and experience. For most XP lane heroes, countering a lane freeze and lane zoning is not very difficult, especially those with powerful early game skills and HP sustain. They can simply fight back and duke it out with the enemy XP laner. As for Argus though, that is very challenging during the early game. Even though his second skill has a high base damage, the fact that he has very low base physical attack and physical attack growth means his second skill will deal very little damage. This is why if you are playing as Argus, and the opposing XP laner decided to freeze the lane and zone you out, you are in trouble. You can use Argus' first skill to get closer to the minions in order to gain experience and gold at the risk of receiving a lot of damage from the enemy hero. However, even if you do that, you might still miss getting experience and gold from the other minions because of how long his first skill's cooldown time is. Also, in the previous patch, before the recent buffs, Argus gains a decent power spike at level 4 thanks to his ultimate's permanent bonus physical attack. Now that's gone, you really have to get a lot of items, otherwise, you will be left behind by a huge gap. The problem is, how can you get Argus enough items if the opposing hero can easily freeze the lane and zone you out? In our opinion, the developers should increase his base attack at level 1 from 100 to at least 120. In doing so, they can improve his damage output at level 1 by a small but helpful amount, which can help Argus farm more effectively on the lane. If you think about it, even if the developers give Argus that buff, he still won't be overpowered. He will be more competitive, but far from meta material. Which brings us to our other proposal, and that's giving him a critical chance bonus when he is attacking a cursed enemy. We think adding such effect will not just strengthen him, but make him more interesting. How about you? Do you think the buff was enough? Or was it underwhelming? If you were given the chance to buff Argus, what buff would you implement? Leave your thoughts on the comment section below, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay safe, everyone. Peace.